In this video, we're going to talk about what to do when life punches you in the gut. Let's get into it. When you work hard toward a goal, sometimes you will get there, sometimes you will not. Now listen, I know a lot of people that just quit when things don't go their way. And it's important for you to understand that if you are going to be successful in your life, you need to own up to your mistakes. It doesn't matter who's at fault. It doesn't matter if you could point the finger at somebody else. What matters is that you learn from the situation and move forward. Let me give you an example. When my son was 8 years old, he tried out for the basketball team. He made the team, and then he didn't play as much as he wanted to. So what did he do? He went home, and he cried. He said, "I want to quit." I said, "You can't quit. You have to stay on the team." And he goes, "But I'm not playing." I said, "You're not playing because you're not giving the coaches anything to work with. You've only been at practice 2 days out of the last 14. You're not giving the coaches any reason to put you in the game." My son got so frustrated that he decided he was going to work harder. He came back the next day and he practiced even harder. And guess what happened? The very next game he played 17 minutes. So here's what I want you to think about. If you want to be successful, you must take responsibility. But if you take responsibility and you still don't succeed, you need to try again. Don't quit. Don't throw in the towel. Don't walk away from something that you want just because it didn't happen the way you expected it to. Here's the other thing that you need to know. Sometimes when things don't go the way you planned, it's not your fault. It's actually a blessing in disguise. Maybe the job that you really wanted didn't work out and you thought you were going to be devastated. But that job had horrible reviews on Glassdoor.com. Now, you're going to find out later on down the road that the job that you wanted wasn't right for you. Sometimes things happen for a reason, and it might not make sense at the time, but if you look back, you'll see why it was a blessing in disguise. Years ago, one of my partners, we had a deal that we were working on. We thought it was going to close, and then it fell apart at the 11th hour. Now, we had spent months on this deal, and I was devastated. I wanted to quit real estate. I wanted to throw in the towel. I remember getting in my car after the deal fell apart and literally crying like a baby. And I said to myself, "What's the point?" Then I started driving around and I saw this sign. This sign says, "Everything happens for a reason." So I called my partner and I said, "Hey, I think everything happens for a reason." Well, about 6 months later, the deal that we had worked on ended up coming back to us. We closed that deal and it was one of our best deals that we ever did. It probably would not have happened if the deal wouldn't have fallen through the first time. Now, let's say you're trying to work toward a goal and you're working hard and you're doing everything right, but it's not happening. Sometimes you just have to step back and say, maybe this isn't meant for me. For example, I always wanted to be a quarterback. I was too small to be a quarterback. It was probably a good thing. Or I always wanted to be an opera singer. I couldn't carry a tune if my life depended on it. It was probably a good thing. There are some things that you just have to accept. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your dreams, but I am telling you that you have to be willing to walk away from those dreams if they don't work out. If you chase your dreams and it doesn't work out, you need to be able to move on to the next dream. And sometimes when you move on to the next dream, the original dream comes back to you and you can achieve that dream. But you never would have achieved it if you hadn't moved on. So it's important for you to be able to walk away from things that aren't working. Now, here's another thing that you must do when life punches you in the gut. You need to learn how to bounce back. I always tell people that success is not necessarily a straight line. Success is usually measured by the amount of times that you can get knocked down and bounce back up. How many times have you seen a boxer that gets knocked out and then he bounces back up? Well, that's what success is like. Life is going to punch you in the gut. You need to be able to pick yourself up and move forward. One of the most common quotes that you hear is, "Never give up." But I'm going to give you a little twist on that quote. Never give up, but also know when to walk away. Know when to cut your losses. Sometimes you gotta cut your losses and move on to the next thing. But whatever you do, you should never, ever, ever give up on yourself. Think about it. Who's the most important person in your life? It's you. Why? Because you're the only person that you're with 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. It's you. If you start believing that you're worthless, you're going to start acting like you're worthless. So no matter what happens in your life, you need to believe that you're awesome, you're wonderful, you're great. And when you believe that, you start acting that way, and amazing things start happening. The story is told of a man who was traveling through the woods, and he saw a bear coming toward him. So he did what any reasonable person would do. He started running, and the bear started gaining on him. So he picked up his pace. He started running as fast as he could. Finally, he turned around and he started running uphill, and the bear stopped. The man asked the bear, "Why did you stop chasing me?" And the bear said, "I didn't want to run uphill." In other words, the bear knew its limits, and so should you. If you're working hard and things don't work out, that's okay. Just don't quit. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start again. But before you start, you need to figure out why things didn't work the first time. Once you figure out why things didn't work, then you need to change that and start again. Look, all successful people that I know have failed more times than they can remember. When you look at Thomas Edison, he failed thousands of times before he invented the light bulb. When you look at someone like J.K. Rowling, she got rejected 12 times before she got her first Harry Potter book published. You look at someone like Steven Spielberg. He was rejected 3 times before he got his first movie produced. The point is that you're not alone. Everyone fails. Everyone has setbacks. What makes successful people different is that they don't quit. They don't give up. They keep going. A long time ago, I used to compete in natural bodybuilding competitions. One time, I was competing for a heavyweight championship and I stepped on the stage. The judges said, "Who is this scrawny guy?" I was so disappointed I thought I'd prepared well. I thought I looked good. But obviously the judges didn't agree. So what did I do? I went home and I started training harder. I went back on my diet. I trained for another 6 months, and the next time I stepped on the stage, I won the heavyweight championship. So here's what I want you to do. Whatever your goals are, you need to visualize it. You need to write it down. You need to create a plan. You need to execute that plan. And if things don't work out, it's okay. Just adjust your plan and start over. But whatever you do, don't quit. Don't give up on yourself. You are worth it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to get more tips on how to become financially free, check out the Financial Freedom Guide. It's available at our website. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. Have a great day.